I'd like to call this meeting to order. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Mrs. Chu.
Here.
Mr. Sismar.
Here.
Mr. Hahn.
Here.
Mrs. Lax.
Here.
Mrs. Reese.
Here.
Mr. Seeler. Mr. Simmons.
Here.
Mr. Winston. And President Becker.
Here, we have a quorum. Please rise to salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies. In accordance with this, the East Brunswick Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published at the Board of Education offices. Written notice was also provided to the Sentinel, the Newark Star Ledger, the Home News and Tribune, and the Municipal Clerk of East Brunswick. All Board of Education meetings, with the exception of executive session discussions, are videotape or later broadcast. Individuals who speak at the board's public meetings should be aware of these videotaping rules. Good evening and welcome to the very first board meeting of the 2019-2020 school year. My gosh. So we're looking forward to our superintendent's report tonight to hear all about how school went, start of school.
Thank you, President Becker. Good evening, everyone. Staff members returned on Tuesday, September 3rd, to prepare for school opening and to receive important guidance from administrators. I would like to thank all of our staff for the time and effort they put into preparing our schools and classrooms for opening day. On Thursday, September 5th, the new school year began for over 8,300 students. As with the years past, teaching and learning was evident from the moment the first bell rang in all of our 11 Blue Ribbon schools. And I can attest to that from my own visits and the staff's visits. We saw a lot of good stuff on day one. I'm proud to announce that 9 students have been selected as semi-finalists in the National Merit Scholarship Competition. Back to school nights for parents started on Tuesday, September 10th. This important annual gathering is designed to give parents an overview of the school program. Attending back to school night is a great way to stay connected to your school community and establish communication with your child's teacher throughout the year. While at back to school night, please visit the PTA membership table. Become a member of your school's PTA and show support for all the PTA does to enhance our students' educational experience and promote a positive school climate. You can also show your support for the East Brunswick Education Foundation. Members will be offering apples for education as well as other EBEF swag for a small donation. All proceeds will be used to fund grants which enhance and enrich teaching and learning for our students. Stop by the EBEF table and learn how you can support the foundation during the school year. Students and staff are off to a great start using Canvas as a learning management system. This platform allows students in grades 8 through 12 to access digital content on their newly issued district laptops to enrich and extend their learning. Any parents who would like support with Canvas on their child's new computer are invited to Parent University on October 7th in order to ensure we have enough staff on hand to support all who would like to attend, and RSVP will be required for this event. We invite you to visit us on Sunday, September 22nd at our East Brunswick Public Schools table at the 6th Annual East Brunswick Day from 12 noon to 5 p.m. The event, sponsored by the East Brunswick Township Recreation Department, will take place at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center. I look forward to seeing you there. On October 20th, the East Brunswick Education Foundation will host its 4th Celebrity Dance-Off at the JM Pack. District celebrities include Warnsdorfer 4th grade teacher Susan Mizrak, Churchill history teacher Craig Siegel, high school security guard Dave Smith, and EBEA president Dr. Dana Zimbicki. This is a community event, and we don't have it in our script.
That means I don't have to do it?
You're still on the hook, Mrs. Chu.
Somebody's in big trouble.
That would be me. I'll look for a new job tomorrow.
That's all right.
And Mrs. Susanna Chu from the Board of Education.
Keep it low key. keep it low-key. It was supposed to be a surprise, I guess.
You and I are both working at Wendy's.
Yeah.
This is a community event, and to enable more families to attend, EBEF has changed the start time from 3 p.m., or 2 p.m., to 3 p.m., and lowered the ticket prices. For more information and to start casting your votes, please follow the link on ebef.org. It promises to be another outstanding event. Just a reminder, schools will be closed Monday, September 30th, and Tuesday, October 1st, for fall recess 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Valesky. Now we have the good of the cause of the public. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of providing an opportunity to the public to express themselves. To allow for a fair and orderly public comment period, individual comments are limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public are reminded this is a public televised meeting of the board. To protect the privacy of all students and staff, concerns regarding individual students and staff members should generally be addressed by first meeting with the appropriate administrative staff. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the board? Please come up to the podium and give us your name and address for the record.
Sure. Hello, my name is Catherine Nguyen. I live at 5 Old Tenant Court. I have 1 child in Hammersholt and 1 child in Warnstoffer. I want to thank you for your actions to mitigate East Brunswick School District's dependence on styrofoam trays. The modification to cardboard trays has been noted. I wanted to mention that continued reforms need to be implemented. In order to fully understand the magnitude of the plastic pollution crisis, I wanted to present some sobering facts to people. The USA has 330 million inhabitants. If each person was as blasé about plastic bottles as some of the people sitting here, that would be 330 million plastic bottles a day. Presently, the globe is producing 1 million plastic bottles per minute. We cannot get rid of plastic because it doesn't disappear. Each bottle is a real threat to the environment, and that's 1 bottle. Clearly, this situation needs to change. Plastic, once in the environment, does not biodegrade to any substantial extent. It will not magically vanish. It will not magically disappear. It is going to require that we both stop producing so much of it and start picking it up. At the very crux of this problem is how we are teaching our children to live. Thoughtless disposal of plastics is taught at schools and is plain and simply wrong. If we cannot teach children correctly at schools, we are misteaching and mistreating our children. With nearing 8 billion people on the globe, we must be more careful and responsible with our resources and the global community's resources and shared environment. My words are strong, but should be very clear. It is time for New Jersey's school system, which is known as one of the best in the nation, to step up and be leaders in this global call for environmental sustainability. We need not only provide our students with the skill set to be good doctors, lawyers, artists, or whatever career they choose to pursue, but provide them with the skill sets to be good stewards of the environment and have a viable planet on which they can live. Some current habits, quite frankly, are in complete opposition to this and have to change immediately. It starts in schools. This is not only their environment that is being destroyed, but it is the one that sustains the entire globe. The New Jersey school system's improper use of disposables must be addressed quickly, efficiently, and in the most sensible way possible. We are way behind on this initiative, decades behind, and we are now scrambling for damage control as our oceans are suffering the putrefaction by the poor habits instilled in its citizens. The oceans are the final resting place of all land runoff. There is a delay in time in which refuse on land enters the ocean. Let us not wait any longer. We need to start this now so that later it is not even worse. For the saving grace of our children, teach them right. Remember that students are learning at every moment, especially in the cafeteria, where proper eating habits and food handling are instilled. It is your responsibility and obligation to make sure that they are learning the actions of today are exactly what affect the future of tomorrow. And I just wanted to mention a few other facts about East Brunswick. Our landfill will close in 10 years due to the quantity of garbage placed in it. If you're concerned about budgets now, 10 years from now, we won't be getting the millions of dollars we get for taking other towns' trash in our landfill. As well, we will have to start paying to get our trash put somewhere else. Those are two huge costs. And the time to act is now. If we reduced our garbage delivery into that landfill from 10 feet a year to 1 foot a year, we would have 100 years left on the landfill. That would save a lot of trouble later when in 10 years everybody wonders why all of a sudden we can't throw away our trash. We are simply producing too much. I've spoken to the New Jersey Department of Education, and I'm in talks with other companies and agencies that can do something about this. The ultimate solution to the problem is exactly what Dr. Valesky did as a child. You bring in, you bring out. You're responsible for your own dish. That's just the way it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Wish you both a good school year, too. Is there anyone else wishing to address the public? Seeing none, I close the public yes, sir, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Yifan Wang. I have a child in Churchill. And I just want to bring up a question. Is that possible to postpone the school starting time just a little bit in sync with the rest of township, like in Middlesex County? I just noticed, I mean, they're not getting enough sleep, right? And we got at 6 o'clock, wait for the bus arriving at 6:50. So I understand that, I mean, the township has to deal with bus issues, you have to work after school, so, but I don't think it's healthy for children to get that, look, they're not getting enough sleep. So even 20 minutes will make a big difference. So just something I want to bring up. I know a lot of people have discussed this, and just something I think we should consider, any possibility. I mean, starting school at 6:20, I mean 7:23, to me that's just, especially for this age, I mean, they're not getting enough sleep. So they can even legally drive a truck, I mean, if they're like, I mean, old enough with a kind of like, so hope I make my point clear here. So is that something the BOE is considering? Is that something out of question? That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to the board tonight? Seeing none, I close the public portion, and we move on to our agenda items. Can I please have a motion for our curriculum and instruction items 1 through 4?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lags.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sismar. Is there any discussion?
So for the second and third items, so it's paid by per production. I want to know how many production approximately we will have for one school year.
The fall play will be an evening of short plays by David Ives, and the spring musical will be Guys and Dolls.
How many productions?
2.
2 only? Okay, thank you.
I actually, Dr. Valesky was going to ask you to speak for a minute about number 4, which is our memorandum of agreement for the College Pathways Program with Middlesex County College, just in case there's any parents who are not aware of this wonderful opportunity that we
Sure.
provide.
Yeah, so the Pathways program, we expanded a number of years ago, and so we have a number of students who are receiving college credit, and this year, the reduction in the tuition that is required for a 3 or 4 credit course was dropped from $200 to $125.
Wow.
So significant savings to families. This is an opportunity for children in East Brunswick Public Schools to pursue credits toward a Middlesex County College associate's degree, or to, with the support of their counselor, and I want to be careful here because parents need to make informed decisions about the courses their children take and about whether those credits will be accepted at the college of their choice or where they're accepted. But we're finding success with many students who go to college with many of the credits they have taken through the Pathways program being accepted by the college or university of their choice. and saving significant cost in their first year, and even cutting down the amount of time it takes to complete their bachelor's degree. Our opportunity here is to actually give students an opportunity to either repurpose the money they had planned for college or save money for their parents, or to be able to pursue a master's degree where they typically would have just had a bachelor's degree by accumulating those extra credits ahead of time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mrs. Becker, on that point, can I make a note from what Dr. Valesky said?
Of course.
You pointed, it's really important to know that there are schools that do require that you take the class at the university or
Correct.
school to get credit. So there are some schools that say, well, you took it at East Brunswick, so we're not going to recognize it. You need to check that out. And the second thing is, if you ever want to go to graduate school, know that those courses will likely be counted, so you want to get A's. You want to just be mindful that that could be part of the, you might be leaving undergrad with your certain grades, and then you forget, oh, I had these Middlesex classes. I think they might be in the mix in any case.
Absolutely.
So you have to remember
Good
all
point.
that strategically as you think about doing these. So.
Thank you, Todd.
Good point.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for item 1 on tonight's facility agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lax. Second by Mr. Sismar. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Financial services, can I have a motion for items 1 through 5?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Mr. Simmons, I'm sorry, hard of hearing in the left ear. Seconded by Mr. Hong. Is there any discussion? This is roll call vote. Will the
Yes, it is.
secretary please call the roll?
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mr. Sismar?
Yes.
Mr. Hong?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
And Mrs. Becker.
Yes, motion carries. Can I please have a motion for our human resources agenda items 1 through 2?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lax,
Second.
second by Mr. Hong. Is there any discussion? Secretary, please call the roll.
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mr. Sismar?
Yes.
Mr. Hong?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. We have one item tonight on our staff development agenda. Can I please have a motion for item 1?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lax.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sismar. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Student services agenda. Can I please have a motion for items 1 and 2?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lax.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sismar. Is there any discussion? It's a roll call vote. Please call the roll.
Mrs. Chu?
Yes.
Mr. Sismar?
Yes.
Mr. Hong?
Yes.
Mrs. Lax?
Yes.
Mrs. Reese?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. This brings us to our first high school report of the new school year. Take it away, Rachel.
Okay, so it's officially senior year, very exciting. So we had a couple senior picture days in the beginning of the school year just to get that out of the way. We've also been having a lot of interest meetings for clubs and honor societies, just so we can get everyone involved in school, make sure they have stuff to look good on colleges and like get them volunteering, all of that. And we'll have our activity fair on the 24th after school, just so if anyone has extra questions or they're thinking of doing things in the second semester, they can meet like the heads and boards of clubs and honor societies and get to know what they want to do better. Also, we got these fun Lenovo devices. So we wanted to thank the board because it was kind of a leap of faith that you guys took to like get these for us. But it's working out really well. At first there were some issues, like tech issues, but we got that sorted out. And they're super convenient. They're saving us like paper, printers, ink, all of that. They're lightening our load for our bags, which is great for us. And it's creating a better college prep atmosphere because a lot of schools use Canvas. I know I did a summer program at Brown and they use Canvas, so we're all just a lot more comfortable with it. As far as seniors, we had senior orientation. So they talked a lot about attendance, that way all of us can graduate on time and walk on stage. They also discussed parking passes And we have a Share the Keys presentation. So that's where the East Brunswick Police Department works with East Brunswick High School, and kids have to attend with their parents and just discuss safe driving. And it's great because the police department also talks to parents about setting an example for their kids in their driving habits. And at the first meeting, there were about 100 people in attendance, and we have 3 more coming up. Also, counselors are meeting with seniors and senior classes to discuss college and like Naviance and all our prep and plans to make sure that runs smoothly. We've had AP meetings because they've changed that system a little bit, so all of us want to be on the same page about things we need to get enrolled in and test enrollment. Also, last year at the end of the year, we discussed putting into place like a school climate committee and having them do more work to get everyone in the school bonding. And so in the beginning of the year, we had a morning where we just had some time to have like activities in our classes, and it went really well. It helped with the EBHS 1 initiative. Like I was up on B Hall in the high school, which I think all of you know, and what happened was we were originally going to do the activities with just our classes, but it turned into a whole hallway activity. So it was a lot of fun. You saw like teachers and students just enjoying time together. We also are going to be starting Mindfulness Mondays. So on Monday during announcements, there will be counselors and teachers just giving students advice on how to cope with stress and all of that. And if they need an outreach, we'll have options available for them. And also, we had our first football game, which was so much fun, and the Bear Den was great, and the class of 2020 has way more school spirit than the class of 2019. Yeah.
Just saying, huh?
Just saying. I just
Yeah,
wanted to put that out there. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like senior year.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful year.
Thank you.
Are there any committee reports, information items, the good of the cause of the board? Seeing none.
Could I ask for just one piece, could I? And this is unscripted. If I could ask Nicole Tibbetts to come up and just give just a couple reflections about the rollout of Canvas, some of the comments that you've heard or seen, because this has been a significant investment by the board, and just a couple of minutes to share with you how
Wonderful.
proud we are of this. And Nicole's been leading it, and this is going to be a terrific initiative for the district.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Thank you for a few minutes to speak about it, brag about it, I guess. The initial rollout has gone exceedingly well, far better than we anticipated. Last year, we had set up 6 kind of non-negotiables for teachers that we really wanted them to learn. And we had target dates for each one of those 6 non-negotiables with the goal of that by November, all 6 of those non-negotiables would be in every teacher's platform, and they were in on the first day of school. So our biggest issue that we're having right now is our teachers want to know more than we're ready to teach them. So we had a teacher today who figured out how to record audio files. She's a world language teacher, and so having her students record audio files is something that she thinks is important. And so all of the students figured out how to record audio files, and it was a quick conversation with the instructional coach to figure out how do we get those uploaded. It's not even something we had touched in any sort of conversations whatsoever, but she did a little research, and then it was, okay, how do we get every single student to get their audio file onto Canvas so that we can all hear them? And it's just kind of been experience after experience. One of the things that we know we want to do is get parent access, and even that, we were thinking we had a target date, like let's get everybody up and running, and we have parents who are already, figuring it out, emailing and saying, I Googled it, I saw the directions, I just need my kid's pairing code, right? So everybody's ready to jump right in. So we do have a date of late next week that we hope we will get that out to parents, but we're trying to kind of trust the whole process and take our time with it, and everybody is saying to us, get out of our way, we're doing just fine, and it's really exceeding our expectations in terms of the capability, far beyond any of the learning management systems that we've been using in the past. So it's really great. Thank you for your support of it.
And I also want to mention Nick Latronica, our CIO, who was manning the Genius Bar at the high school, he along with his staff. So as students were getting their devices, if a student opened their device and had any issue, they were walking up and they were getting immediate resolution unless the device actually failed. They might have had a couple of those issues, but Nick and his team were on it, and so together, I'm very proud of what the team put together and what they executed, because it was smiles all around first couple of days of school.
And as a reminder, there was a workshop for teachers at the beginning, at 150?
So in June, we had about, I think it was 75 teachers that came in June that were kind of considered our like early adopters. And they facilitated the workshop for every teacher on the September 4th Professional Development Day.
Great.
And we expect that they will continue to facilitate workshops at faculty meetings. And then we have November 5th is a full-day staff development day where the students don't have school, and it'll be dedicated to continuing to teach everybody. But it's really been neat to see the collaboration. We've had teachers who have emailed and said, like, I figured this out, and then we just blast it out to everybody. So as kids, as the teachers are learning some little tips and tricks, they're sharing it with everybody else. I had a music teacher come to me and say, I figured out how to merge this class with that class. And I said, do me a favor, go see one of the PE teachers. He asked me how to do that too. And so everybody is really kind of helping each other with it. It's really been nice to see.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank to you and Nick and your staff, just wonderful. And obviously, it's going over big with the students.
So far, so good. I guess there's some content on those pages, so
Yeah.
that's good news. That's good. That's more than we thought for the first week of school, so I'm glad to hear it.
But this was a leap of faith by the board, a significant investment.
Definitely.
We talked about it for a long time, and we absolutely appreciate your support.
Definitely.
So you said on November 5th, you
I
will
think
be
it's
a
the
day.
5th. Am I saying that correct, Ms. LeBlanc?
So that will be almost 2 months away. Can we move it earlier to training our teachers?
So we trained our teachers on September 4th. We had the full day staff development day already. And just a little bit I know about how difficult it is to get the calendar approved. I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be changing the day that school is closed again for the staff to have that PD day. But there's 2 meetings every month after school that are dedicated to this. Plus, there will be other opportunities for teachers to go to additional meetings. And beyond that, the high school has an instructional coach who is full access all the time to be able to get that professional development. So we feel very comfortable that the teachers are in a good place right now.
Okay, thank you.
I like the fact, too, that teaching doesn't have to occur in a classroom setting anymore. It's all electronic. Like you said, I figured out how to do this, blast it out to everybody.
Yes.
Talk about reduction of waste. I mean, we're getting rid of paper. Rachel, you brought up, thank you very much. Eventually textbooks are going to disappear. They're going to go electronically. So, is it a leap of faith by us? No, I think it was a smart move by administration and everybody involved to go forward. And, let's do what they're going to be doing in college. You said we're preparing you for college here. I think it's fantastic that we can do that and communicate. Teaching goes on every day.
That's right.
So thank you.
Take care of that backpack problem.
Yeah, well, that's another benefit.
Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? We do have a need for closed session, whereas the Board of Education must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in a public meeting. Matters as follows, those items listed in tonight's agenda. May I please have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Lax, second by Mr. Sisbar. Is there any discussion? Whereas the length of the closed session is estimated to be 1 hour, after which a public meeting of the board shall reconvene and action may be taken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Good night. Thank you.